Office workers are spending their time creating and using information and records. When we look around our offices and in our own email inboxes, it is evident that the quantities are huge. Many surveys and white papers have given estimates on the amount of information and records that are currently being created and future growth. There are now computer solutions that exist which, along with appropriate policies and procedures, allow this to be managed. I'm Carl Weise, instructor in Global Education Services with AIIM International. From the hundreds of students who have attended my classes, I have identified the benefits of electronic records management. Here are my top 5 benefits of records management technologies. Our current office practices can be considered as reactive. We create our Word documents, spreadsheets, emails, or whatever, and after we use them or send them, we simply dump them onto our C drive, shared drives, or let them get buried in our sent folders. Workers in other occupations know that their job is not done until they properly put away their tools and supplies. In the same way, our task should not be considered done until our work is properly captured in an ERM solution. It has been said that office workers will resist the efforts to be proactive, properly capturing their information immediately. They need to understand that this action will greatly reduce their efforts later to find or recreate these same records and will ease the frustration and anxiety that they often experience in their work. The first benefit is managing information from its creation to destruction. ERM systems can manage information and records behind the scenes without the involvement of the users. They use a classification structure to manage the information. This is identical to financial systems that use charts of accounts. Managers are required to prepare their budgets every year and provide monthly reports on how their revenues and expenses compare with the budgeted amounts. No one is saying that we are making accountants out of these managers. Through training and experience, they learn how to allocate their revenues and expenses properly. Through similar training and experience, we will ask users to capture their information in the appropriate record categories or record series in the ERM repositories. It will be records management professionals who will establish the appropriate enterprise-wide classification structure. In developing this structure, the different record series will be identified and their respective administrative, legal, physical, and historical value will be determined and documented, along with the appropriate access rights and retention periods. The ERM systems will store this content under the proper controls and will notify the records professionals when the records are eligible for destruction. The second benefit is ensuring that records will be retained and managed in a consistent manner across the organization. Organizations need to keep different records for different periods of time. These requirements may come directly from statutes and regulations themselves, or the records will need to be retained to prove other practices and standards. Records management professionals need to identify these requirements, document them, and have the appropriate retention formulas set up in the ERM systems. Users do not need to know these requirements. When information and records are sought in litigation or government investigations, if they exist in some areas of the organization but not in others, the argument could be made that where the information does not exist, the information was destroyed because it contained damaging evidence. This can lead to charges of obstruction of justice and or spoliation. Also, showing the consistent destruction of records year after year will protect the organization from these same charges. The third benefit is that information and records will be shared across the whole organization. When we carry out a search for information, we are not simply looking for the records that used to be in our own desk drawers or department file cabinets. We will retrieve information that has been captured across the organization and its many offices. We will receive information that are not only contained in Word documents or spreadsheets, but important information found in emails, instant messages, and enterprise wikis and blogs. The fourth benefit is safeguarding intellectual property and protecting personal information. In the ERM solutions, access controls can be established to control who sees what. Roles and work groups can be defined for access to the content, and the appropriate staff can be assigned to the respective roles and work groups. ERM systems provide audit trails showing all activity associated with a record. If there is a dispute over the contents of an electronic record, the audit trail can be examined to determine what actions took place with that particular information object. In the same way, the audit trail would show any inappropriate access or use of the information. Attaching information or records to emails and sending them outside the organization can be screened by related technology. This traffic can be monitored, in which the email is not allowed to leave the organization and is examined, or reviewed, where it is delivered, but subject to later examination. The fifth benefit is that information and records are destroyed when they no longer have value to the organization. Some information is created and received by the organization that has no lasting value. Examples include drafts that are created and transitory emails that are received by staff. This information needs to be removed according to policies and in the normal course of business by ERM solutions and related technologies. It is clear that under the requirements to preserve and produce relevant information in litigation and government investigations, if information has no value to the organization, it should be destroyed quickly and in a systematic way before there is any hint of legal action. This will reduce both litigation and e-discovery costs. Records contain different information that have importance to the organization for different periods of time. These different time periods need to be established in records management policies associated with records retention. The ERM solutions are able to track trigger events, initiating the retention of records, and through retention formulas, tell us when the records are eligible for destruction. Retaining records for the appropriate periods of time and then destroying them will support our compliance, business risk, and information governance obligations. How can you achieve these benefits? Establish and enforce information governance. Records management professionals need to be employed. Policies and procedures need to be developed, and ERM solutions can ensure conformance. Set your policies and procedures in place, making sure that they support the business goals and not impede them. Involve and then train the staff. Create a business plan for an ERM solution. Create a business plan to show how ERM technology will support the strategic goals of your organization. Outline the benefits and costs of implementing the solution, along with the scope of implementation. Identify the risks of not acquiring an ERM solution. Identify your business and systems requirements. Many ERM solutions exist with varying functionality. You will need to elicit and then document your business and systems requirements. These can include capturing information and records, storing them in the appropriate storage systems and devices, controlling access to the content, making them available through search and information access technologies, and destruction. Procure the appropriate technology. Carry out a systematic procurement plan. Based on your business and systems requirements, identify the technology that meets these needs, offers flexibility at a reasonable cost. Use change management efforts such as communications and training to gain acceptance from the users. We are talking about new ways of working in our organizations. Inform the users of the benefits that they will experience. ERM solutions manage information and records in a structured way. Users will not be distracted about how and where they need to store their work product. Information will be shared across the staff. They will spend less time hunting for their and other staff's information. They will not have the concern of deciding whether particular information should be retained and for how long, or deleted. They will be working in a proactive manner, making them more productive and providing a more comfortable work environment. I hope this brief presentation has provided some insight into the benefits of ERM solutions. Information and records are important assets that need to be centrally managed, and there are technologies that exist to do just that. I encourage you to act now and contact AIIM or visit our website and investigate further how we can help you learn the functionality of ERM technologies and their benefits. On behalf of AIIM International, I thank you for taking the time to join us in looking at the top 5 benefits of records management technologies.